Okay, so we're live. I am going to attempt to do a series of different art studies and demos and just kind of an ask me anything talk and whatnot. Um, so I'm going to confirm right now whether or not we are broadcasting to my YouTube channel as well as to Facebook. And then if so, good, we can get going on this. So let me go ahead and come over here. Yeah, we're live. Okay. Series of different. So let me turn that volume down on there so I could see. That's cool. Just prepping everything up right now. And I can't get anything to stand right. So, all right, that's good. Let's see. Let's go to comments. There's no comments yet. And let me go to my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. And of course, it's the wrong channel. Switch account. Yes, switch account, please. Hunter Art Lab is what we want. Are we broadcasting live on there? This channel doesn't have any content yet. What are you talking about? That's very bizarre. It's telling me I have no content on there. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. There we are. So now we're live on here as well. Okay. So I will mute that. Okay. Okay, and this is about to fall off. Hey, Aaron, what's up? How you doing? Can you hear me okay? I muted some other type of things, so I want to make sure I didn't mute myself completely over the actual live broadcast, so that way we weren't getting double feedback. So if someone can chime in and let me know if you can hear me, that much appreciated. But so all good, thanks, cool. Hey, Brittany. Hey, cousin, how you doing? So yeah, so let's get into it. So you'll see me talking, and then I'll also probably do some intros because I'm going to be splicing this up later on for several videos and uploads of episodes of the Hunter Art Lab. But for now, I just needed to get going and hit record and start going. But yeah, I was in a really, really, really bad mood right before I hit record here. So seeing some of you come on here is definitely brightening my mood. So thank you so much. So no, it's not on my head. But Dave, I'm not opposed to putting things on my head. If you've ever seen some of my old videos, you'll notice that I've had ghetto versions of cams on my head. Hey Vince, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Congrats on that Oni. I think you're still doing it right. So yeah, so I was in a really crappy mood, y'all. I was coming on here ready to rant. I was coming on here just ready to rage because word of advice, do not ever, and I mean ever, attempt to try and learn anything technical or anything software wise right before going live or recording or trying to do a long drawing session. It will suck the life out of you. It will make you like furious. It'll just put you in the worst mood ever. Okay. So my advice is not to do that. Schedule time aside from trying to learn something that's more technical or something that's not in your wheelhouse, and don't conflict that with when you're about to go live and try and like be happy and smiley and all that kind of stuff. So just word of advice. I just learned that the hard way. So okay. So today we're going to go over a bunch of different mediums, and I'm going to just kind of start going through some different drawing exercises, not just for content for my channel, but just because there's some studies I need to get done for some projects that are coming down the line that I'm working on. Okay. And so this is basically just me recording live right now batching videos, and you're free to ask me questions and have discussions. Whatever topic you all want to talk about. If you want to cover some of the recent events with BLM, Black Lives Matter, then by all means, I'm here for that as well. I've got stuff to say about that. So it can be serious, it could be funny, whatever you all want to ask, it's fine. Other than that, I'll probably just be ranting about whatever, ranting and rambling like I normally do. So now this will be the part where I try to suck everything up and try to like look at the camera and do an intro promo so I don't have to edit later on. But right now I'm kind of blank on what I'm going to do. So I haven't yet decided which of these materials I'm going to start with. So when I switch to camera, you'll see this pile of mess on my table right now. I'm surrounded by a mess. It's just like I feel like I'm in the eye of the storm, and it's not quite calm. So thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. Okay, let me figure out, how do I cut a promo, like an intro to introduce the video? So normally if I were to do a bunch of videos, right, I'd have to change my shirt and all that, and so that looks like as if it was a bunch of different like episodes that we're doing. I don't feel like doing that. And I think we're gonna rock with Batman, for now. Okay, so let me introduce you to something else that's happened. I don't know if it's stress related or what, or the climate, but I've got this like, look at that sucker. I didn't even know it was that big on camera though, but it's nasty. It hurts like hell. I don't know if it's a bite or what, but I mean, like on one of my features I like, there's this big bump or bite. Look at that. It's like I don't know, maybe with everything that's going on, we were short of what, alien invasion and zombie breakout. Maybe this is the start of that. Maybe we'll hit everything in 2020. I don't know. But right now, I'm gonna call you Tom, little guy. This little guy right here is causing me some pain and inconvenience right now. So we're gonna give him a name. So hi, Tom. How you doing, Tom? So Tom's not ready to come out yet. Hey, Maya, I gotta talk to you later. I owe you a bio, but I also want to draw you for a project I got coming up. So I will be in touch. So Miss Crown, I will be in touch. So I owe you, Miss Crown, Maya Crown Williams, y'all. Founder and organizer of Mecca, a show that I will be a part of later on in the fall, and one of my favorite shows to do. We've got SoulCon, we've got Space, and we got Mecca, and I just get a bam, 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 bam. It's a beautiful time in the summer and the fall of shows that I could do. So yeah, Mecca was is truly what it says, Mecca. You know what I mean? As far as Mecca is an acronym for something that I'll probably mess up if I try to see it right now. So I'll ask Maya if she wants. She could type it and link it in the chat. But it truly is like going to like a destination and of culture, of comics amongst my fellow Black creators and everything like that. And it's always a good time, and I always feel refreshed after I'm done doing a show of Mecca every year. So, but yeah. So so anyways, Mecca, great show. We got SoulCon coming up too. I'm a part of that. I'll be organizing some things for that. More news on that coming out later. But so that's just Tom right here, by the way, and making me look bad, Tom. So ouch, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Okay, so let's get to it. If you're like me and current events, what you're seeing on the news, seeing on social media, it could be very sobering, it could be very triggering. And I used to hate using that word triggering because it's a loaded word, right? No pun intended. And everyone wants to dismiss, as soon as you say I'm triggered, everyone wants to dismiss you for saying that or stating that, when you're just emoting that, hey, I'm not okay right now, something's really bothering me. And so I've had to take the negative connotations around that word triggered off, because I had my own bias towards that word trigger. I don't know if it's because it was messing with my masculinity, my perception of masculinity, making me feel weak. Something that we guys got to get over, obviously. That we've been indoctrinated with. But yeah, I mean, if you feel it, if it's happening to you, then it is real. And apparently, there's this thing called quarantine fatigue. And maybe it's just more fatigue than just quarantine. But I mean, the state of America, the state of the world, one when we see that, it's all there. It's ugly and it's right there right now. You can see what's happening out there in the world, and people are sick of it. We're all sick of it. The world's sick of it. I like to think that about 80% of the world and its inhabitants is sick of seeing what's happening to Black people, to people of color, to people of different marginalized groups. I think anyone that's ever been in a marginalized group right now is feeling, what Black Lives Matter is feeling in right now. And so I think that's why we're getting an increase finally in outrage and allies. And everyone's finally speaking up and saying these systems are not okay. These systems are not all right. And white people need to be aware and pay attention that unless this system gets reorganized and finally we reevaluate these systems, they're ultimately going to affect you. They already do affect you, just may not realize it. Okay. So if you are a person who does not have a lot of wealth, you don't even have a regular middle class sense of wealth or opportunity. If your economics have got you to where you just feel like you're working and working, working and working to no end. Okay, I'm talking to you right now, white people. Okay, if you feel like you're working to no end and you're just not getting anywhere, and you're hitting a wall, your family, you're suffering. You are suffering. Your status, the opportunities aren't there for you as well. This is because we have been indoctrinated to have a pull up your bootstraps mentality while these top earners raise money for an extra yacht or an island or something of that nature, and you get to, and they're doing it off of your sweat equity. Okay, so it's not just Black people and other marginalized groups that they're benefiting from. They're also benefiting from you, and they benefit even more when they're able to turn you against us and make you think it's an us versus them when it's not the case. Okay, so I want you to understand that you have stake in this game. You have skin in this game as well. Okay, so if you are finally coming to that realization that the fix is in and that you are willing to be an ally, it's not just about what you're going to do for us Black people and us marginalized people and us people of color. It's also ultimately what you're going to do for yourself and the soul of America. Okay, so if you are a patriot, I implore you to reevaluate these systems and see what the real message is and look behind the curtain. Expose the wizard. Okay, expose the wizard, whether that be the KKK Grand Wizard or the the Emperor with no clothes in the office right now. But you owe it to yourself to really, to look at what's happening, because this does ultimately affect you. If not now, it will. All right, so I'm gonna get off my little soapbox there, and I'm gonna get on another soapbox because I got a lot of soapbox. You might as well just call me Mario because I'll just bing, 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 bing. I got lots of soapboxes, and I got lots of axes to grind. I got a lot of art to do here, and we'll get to that. But I mean, ultimately, while I have you all here and live, I might as well just go and get stuff off my chest because I would love to just be like the smiley guy here. I need to brush my teeth. I gotta quit drinking coffee. No, I'm not gonna quit drinking coffee. I lie. I love coffee. So I forgot what I was saying. It happens. This is one of my issues. But I would love to be like smiling and just be only positive and Mr. Rogers, like, when it comes to this art and stuff that I do, but that's not me. I'm the pain and anger guy. So that's what you get when you do this. But by doing this artwork, by creating this type of stuff, it eventually gets me to a place where I'm a little bit more calm, more serene, and I feel better. So that's why I do arts. And that's, Hunter Art Lab ultimately is about trying to show you, the everyday person, that you can do art, and that you have a place within art as well as being able to use your voice. But at the end of the day, we had to be real about some things, and that's just kind of what I'm doing right now. So if I wouldn't be genuine if I didn't address certain things and got them off my chest. Plus, it's my channel, and I can do what I want to. Okay, moving on. I'm going to switch the camera, and we're going to go ahead and start talking about what I got here and what I'm going to explore first. But you are free to ask me questions in the chat if you'd like. Let me go ahead and switch the camera angle to the top-down menu so you don't have to look at my face no more. No one wants to see that. It totally does look like I'm wearing it on my forehead. Huh. That's just movie magic, though. Okay. Wait a minute. Let's see. Top-down view. Is this it? Boom, there we are. This is a pile of mess, or is it? This could very well be a pile of opportunity right here. We got Post-its, different color Post-its. We got a little handy needed eraser. This thing is tough, man. You can take out a window with this. Don't do that. Ballpoint pen. I love these. We'll probably work with these. So I have a fascination with art supplies, taffy, beef jerky or jerky, and coffee, tacos, and paper, books. Okay. So we've got various sketchbooks here that I've got and journals that I want to dedicate each one to a purpose or a type of work. And I don't know, it just makes me happy having paper. So, and I like the square formats a lot too. I enjoy getting comics and books that have that square format. So, okay, this one right here, we're going to talk about this one because I've been staring at this for 4 or 5 days now, and I've still blank. And that's a problem that I need to conquer. And maybe we'll conquer that in this session. Okay, I've been on a fantasy kick, but unfortunately I have not been able to scratch that itch because ultimately, wait a minute, is my camera upside down, y'all? Why isn't anyone telling me this? Is my camera upside down? Like, this is upside down, isn't it? No one told me. Am I upside down, y'all? Oh, man. Okay, I got to figure that out. Okay. That's bizarre. Yeah, this looks upside down to me. I just realized that. Where's my general settings? That doesn't make any sense, general settings. Get out of here. So, I don't know how to fix this yet. Give me a minute. Let me think. I'm having issues. There's a question mark in a link that says, are you having issues? I'm always having issues. I don't think you want me to click on that link, having issues button. You're not going to like what you see when you come into my head. But yeah, if you are still listening to me rant or ramble and you are in the comment section, please holler, let me know if right now this top view is upside down on your end, because it's upside down on my end. So see, like this hand should be like right there instead, right? So if I start drawing, it's going to look really weird. How do we fix that? Shift videos up for comments and banners. Okay, yeah. Camera. Okay. Or is it just like, is it one of these things? Let me unscrew this. Uh-oh. Not meant to be a Beyonce uh-oh. Hold on. Do I have a solution? Oh, crap. Did I fix it? I almost fixed it. Hold on, y'all. Let's pull that back. We don't want to see that. We want to see the art. Okay. All right. It's a little crooked here, but that looks better, right? Again, I'll need you in the comment sections to let me know if I'm upside down. So, but sweet. Okay. So yeah, I've got mythical creatures and cryptids and things of that nature that I wanted to start drawing and exploring because I wanted to get back to rendering with pencil and tonality and showing kind of like my old drawing chops when I used to do before I started trying to do cartooning and comics. But and also this was part of the 6 fan art trend that went around, whose name escapes me, but she's very talented, and maybe I'll be able to put that comment in later on. So I was doing that. So I was doing fantasy dragons and drawing dragons. So that's why I've been on this kick lately. But then with everything that's happened, I've had to shift my priorities. So I have to get back to this eventually. So this is one of the things I'm going to be covering though. So I've got I've been wanting to draw dragons basically. I've got some different leads and pencils. Like as I said, I wanted to get back to rendering. So that's where we're at with this. We'll talk about this in a quick second here, but again, more sketchbooks. Hey Moana, how you doing? Hopefully this camera's not upside down. It was earlier. So just more sketchbooks. Okay, and then dragons. Like I said, I wanted to draw dragons. Okay, but also we've got, this is my next textbooks that I have to do. I start class in 2 days, and we've got Mariko Tamaki and Jillian Tamaki this one summer. So this is what we're going to be studying, and Mariko is got the marginalized groups and POC database. So if you are a creator and you are in either of those groups, she has a database so that way people can find you and hopefully hire you. So, or check out your work. And then we have Roz right here. It's a memoir. So can't we talk about something more pleasant? This is another book that we're going to be studying in our classes and everything. I always got bad grades in school until I started going to comic book school. Now I get good grades because it's something that I like. I have no idea what that is. This is a dragon book that I've been wanting to do. Oh, finally, yeah, I was upside down. So thank you. Let's see here. Okay. This is so cool. A little pirate thing. And then we got note cards. So I guess the question is what am I going to sketch today? I was thinking about doing batching and doing a whole bunch of drawings in here, but I might just stick with one drawing and call it a day. I don't know. Kind of wild west here right now. So, and I got all these Post-its too. So this was my problem. Remember, this was blank. Hello. There's some people I don't recognize, but hello. We got Leah, and Mazina. Welcome. Okay, so sketchbook. Sketch. Eyes are the windows to the soul. Brazil. Okay, is it I forgot how to say hi in Portuguese. I think I know how to say thank you. Is it arigato? I can't even remember. I'm so bad with my linguistics right now. The older I get, the more I forget with everything. So, welcome. So, I hope everything's going well in Brazil. I know you all have your issues and are fighting the good fight too. Hello, Dean. We got England in the house as well. Man, we're just gonna make it an international affair here, y'all. So that's fine with me. Okay, so I've got tools, I've got paper, but do I have an idea of what I'm going to draw today? I think that's the question. I got a project I have to do studies for where I'm going to be focusing on people's features. Oh, okay. So it's still all okay. In English is all okay. Hello. So, in some places in America, it's just straight up "What up?" But I like to say "How is it going?" because I do want to know how are things going with you all. I still don't know what I'm drawing, everybody. I might have to bring out the fuel, my other obsession. When I can't get to eating regular meals, this is not a product placement. They don't endorse me. My wife hates them because she says they're pure sugar and bad for me. But yeah, let me eat a couple of these and figure out what I'm doing. Oh, the smell of red vines. That's so good. There we go. Oh, did you hear that click in that thing? That's a little some of that ASMR or whatever you call it. Oh man, sorry, I'm chewing into the camera. I'm chewing into the thing now. Okay. I think we're gonna pull up a source and I'm gonna draw. Let's go ballpoint pen. All right, so we got a ballpoint pen here. We got just a simple Post-it, and this is like a warm up that you can do, as well as get confident with the ballpoint pen. So if you're stuck in quarantine still, and you're not able to make it out there, but you have some regular household writing items or note taking items, don't be afraid to bust out the ballpoint pen, gel pen, but I like ballpoint pen better, or Post-its, or piece of mail that you have laying around, or a note card, piece of paper. And let's go ahead and just do a quick doodle or something. So let me pull up a reference here. I've got a project that I'm going to be doing with some features that I can't speak too much about because we're in the proof of concept phase right now. But what I can do is go ahead and start doing some reference studies about it. So I am going to start by attempting to draw an eye. Okay. I got my photo reference now. Really? Yes, just open up computer. My war with tech continues, y'all. Oh, I like this frame right here. Okay. You're not going to see the frame right now because it's top secret. So you're only going to be able to see the drawing that I'm doing. So let's pull that off to the side. And let's get back to my camera so I can see what I'm doing. And let's get that up there. I got email coming in from someone probably telling me I owe money. Who doesn't owe money? That's what the way the world works, right? There we go. Okay. All right. So once again, this is me drawing ballpoint pen, and this is also an Ask Me Anything. So what I'm going to do basically is just kind of lay out the overall form, hold back on the pen lightly. And my friend, B. Alex Thompson, Alex, otherwise known as Alex, was nice enough to volunteer so we can use his facial features to try and capture in this sketch. I'm really rusty, so we'll just have to warm up to it. And one thing I have to avoid doing, because I have a tendency to do this, is to make a person older than they actually are. And this is one of his dreads. Awesome dreads. Kind of jealous. I'm bald. I have no hair no more, except for on my face. And like one strand on my back. Just one visitor. You didn't need to know that, did you? Okay. All right. So, yeah, if you didn't know anything about Alex is quite photogenic. Alex can like he's whipped out these photos like nothing. When I asked him for some selfies and everything like that, like his selfie game is pretty fierce. Y'all better watch out. So, very candid photos, which was awesome because it allowed me to really have some really nice stuff to work with here. So I'm definitely very appreciative of it. Okay, so we're going to go for the eyeball first. And so what I'm going to do is cite my light source. So right now, obviously, there's the very harsh key light here in the eyeball that's reflecting, but then there's also a slight one right here. Alex has very dark eyes, so you're not going to see a lot of gradation or tonality in this, not this from this angle, not without reflecting a lot more light inside there to get things to bounce off. And so I'm going to get some cross hatching going. If you're scared of going too dark too quick when it comes to ballpoint pen because you don't have the luxury of erasing, then just go with the light single hatch first, then build up your values. So you'll see me do that in other areas of this, but right now, knowing that this is the darkest part on the drawing, I'm going to go here first. So that's why I can just go ahead and, as a Rolling Stone say, paint it black. CEO red. No, sorry, I won't sing. Right away, look how powerful that is. I tend to make things angrier than they should be also. So, yeah. So, being that I draw aggressive and I make things angrier than they should be, you might not want to have me draw any clowns. That may not work out for you, okay? So, now I don't yet know how to make this thing autofocus and zoom in yet, so that's something that I'm getting used to. So what I'll do is go ahead and remember to try and hold it up to the camera so you can see this is where we're at right now. Okay. So now that I realize that, what I'll also do is go ahead and do a couple of other drawings and other pieces of artwork that are maybe bigger, so that way you don't have to worry about not being able to see because they're so far away with the camera shot. So his eyelashes actually are kind of blending in because the hood of his eyelid is so the angle that we're looking at is coming forward. So that already gives Cass even more shadow and covers. However, on the lower lid, it's a lot lighter, and you can see some of the moisture in there. So I need to ease back on this pen because I'm already going too heavy on it, and that is something of a. So now I'm going to lighten the load and let the paper sometimes do the work for you. Let the paper come through and be an assist, okay? Now let's get some of those lashes here. For the bottom lid doesn't have as many lashes as the top does, and on males especially, it tends to not be as thick. Maybe it's because we don't all of us don't do eyeliner. I don't know. So, but eyeliner's pretty cool. But my daughter would just yell at me if I took her eyeliner and started gothing out again. Try to reclaim my younger days. So right now I'm just building up some tone, and I'm a little rusty, so my tones are already coming out darker and heavier than I want them to be. So now I am a southpaw. That's correct. I'm left-handed, and all the weird intricacies and eccentricisms that come with being left-handed, I guess I fit them. I didn't know about them until people started going, "Oh, you're left-handed. That makes a lot of sense now," and I would have no idea what they're talking about. So yeah, I'm a southpaw. Oh, hey, Donald, what's up? Hello from Canada. We got Brazil, America, Canada, the UK, England. Is that the same? In here. So that's pretty cool. All right. Okay, I want some variation in here, even though this is technically white. This is still a round object, is it not? Because a sphere, it's a sphere, right? It's a ball, like an eyeball. So it's round, it's concave. Is it concave or convex? It's concave, I think. I think when you have the hill. So I want some kind of variation in here. So I'm gonna try and lightly glide, just keeping the pen right above the paper so I don't put down too harsh of a line. So by the time I get around to maybe editing this later on, if I want to batch videos, this will be just a ballpoint pen tutorial, and then I'll move on to something else. Okay, so I got a little bit of stuff in there. I want some more tonality. So why work in ballpoint pen? Because it's permanent, and you got to pretty much own your mistakes. But then when you switch back to pencil, you are a little bit more aware. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks, Dean, for the clarification. You're saying the UK encompasses Great Britain. Well, UK is Great Britain and encompasses England, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland. So there we go. Now we don't have such a harsh background of the paper, and I've got a little bit more, a little more variety happening in here. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the cheek over here. So there is a section where it's going to be shadow because of your nose, and then over here it'll be more lighter because of the cheek, because the light is hitting. So we're going to go ahead and shade right here, and then I'm going to try and eventually go from. You're supposed to go light to dark. For some reason, I like going dark to light. I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed, and I can't. I have to go this way rather than go this way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if that made sense, but yeah. Let's just do it because it's the Hunter way of doing things. Yeah. I'm already getting into a better mood, so thank you all for hanging out. a lot of serious things happening, and this is my release. This is my path to peace, inner peace. So, okay, so if you all are not going to ask me questions as I do this, I should ask me questions. What's my favorite ballpoint pen, JM Hunter? I like the Bic ballpoint pen. This right here is a Pentel Wow. It's a clickable. See? And so it automatically, I feel like, puts out a lot of ink. The flow is a lot more rapid than, say, a Bic pen, a regular ballpoint Bic pen. I feel like I have more control over, and I can get even better tonality and lighter tones. So it's interesting that the item that costs the least gives me the most range. So just be aware of some of that. That sometimes it works that way, and then sometimes if you work with crappy materials, you get crappy results. A lot of it is due to your ability and what you can do, to the artist. But sometimes it's just, sometimes getting the better tools are better. You go from dark to light. Yeah, Donald, I just said the same thing. Yep. So okay, I'm not crazy then. So if we go, us left-handers go from dark to light, then and that's normal for us. I gotta ask my buddy Les McLean, who's left-handed and a month older than me, if he also goes from dark to light, being a left-handed. Then again, Les is pretty much a wizard at art and just awesome, So he probably does whatever he damn well pleases. So even though, and with the ballpoint pen and just ink tools in general, you can even do like portraits where it's just all scribbles and doodles, and those are fun to do. I might do one of those later on though, but really really cool results with that too, because you're abandoning perfection and you're just kind of like building things up and just kind of letting your mind wander and letting the work just kind of like happen on its own. So that was the highlights. So I'm gonna go in there and build up. Not to mention that Alex is black, so Alex is gonna have darker pigmentation. Flow is starting to get choppy here, so I had to sacrifice some lines right there. Okay, all right, let's move on to here. So this is the brow, right? And this is going to be more round. So Alex's brow is actually merging into the eyelid because he's looking down a bit. So I'm going to attempt to spiral my lines to indicate that this is a brow and this is a curve. So it looks like big lashes right now. So now I got to go in there and render that. Oh man, I should turn off the other Facebooks because now I got people. I'm very active on Facebook. Anyone, my daughter draws. My youngest, my 7-year-old, starting to draw. My oldest was drawing and doing comics for a while, but now she's into TikTok and on doing other things. So she's, pursuing her other interests. So now my grandfather was he was a lawyer that practiced a public defender in Los Angeles. But he also had kind of a decent hand at architecture. So he basically went and designed plans for his home that he's passed on now. And then my aunt, I think, also does art. And my mom is really crafty, but not an artist. So I'm the pure drawer, I guess you could say, in the family. But then again, I don't know about my family in the Philippines. They might be able to draw something too. I know that a lot of them came from a family of pearl divers and fishermen, back in the day. So I've never been to the Philippines, so I don't. Unfortunately, I just through word of mouth or if I talk to someone on Facebook, so some relatives. But drawing is just a bug a niche I have to scratch, because if I don't, then I go a little crazy. This is not I'm not doing that well on this, and I recognize that, but I guess you just got to get a few less than savory pieces of artwork and drawings out of the way to eventually yeah, I haven't drawn in like a very long time because I was dealing with so many other things, and so now I'm just getting back into it. So I could have started with the pencil and worked and got my confidence up that way, but I wanted to just do the pen. So let me show you how it's looking right now so far. I got to get used to that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do the dreads and see what happens. Yeah, drawing is an escape. Well, drawing is an escape. So while drawing might be an escape from reality, that's what Don's saying is right now. Is while that's true, I also feel like drawing is still our way of filtering reality, a way of interpreting reality, so that way we can make it palatable. Did I say that right? For consuming, because sometimes the reality is very horrifying and hard to consume, hard to digest. So with art and poetry and writing and expression, with the arts and whatnot and creativity, it allows us to kind of make it more consumable and digestible for ourselves as well as maybe people around us. So yeah, when I talk about art, it's so morbid and dark, isn't it? When other people talk about it, it's probably a little more like, I don't know, flowery. I guess you can take the black clothes out of the metalhead goth kid, but you can't take the goth metal out of the black kid once it's in there. Something like that. I don't know what I was trying to say there. It sounded more clever in my head until it came out my mouth. Now it just sounds like whatever. So now I'm just kind of doodling right here for the dreads. When it comes to hair, normally you want to lay down a base tone or color if you're not going to use your background for that tone or color. And then you go back in with the details for the strands and find out where your light sources are at and highlight those. But right now I'm just enjoying working with Alex's dreads like this. So drawing dreads is fun. I really enjoy drawing dreads. So they're just so much I don't know, like life to it, like spontaneity and everything like that. Like drawing tentacles almost, there's just a lot of like winding dynamic, elements to it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in here and try to shade a little bit lighter to get that base color I was talking about. So I'm gonna have to be patient on this part because I get very impatient, and then I just want to just over mess, overdraw. But yeah, so I have done whole comic pages in ballpoint pen, and I really enjoy doing it. There are other artists who really excel ballpoint pen and just create masterpieces, but I like the fact that it is raw and easy to make mistakes using a ballpoint pen, and then having to kind of work my way around these mistakes. I enjoy that challenge. So, okay, we've got the dread in there. Now we got to make this dread pop here. So looking at the eye, Alex has a light source coming right here on this side. So this side right here that's going towards the eye is going to be darker. I'm going to make it darker versus the side of the dread that's closer to the edge of the bow stick. So that works well in my favor. Here's why. Because what you want to do is pay attention to your value changes and what's called spotting blacks. So every other, you know what I mean? So if I make this area right here going towards the edge of the post-it lighter, and then make this darker, and then right next to the darkness of the dread, I have the light of the eyeball again. So I'm balancing my blacks, black, white, black, white, black, white, which creates a nice contrast and creates pop and makes for an interesting illusion. So that kind of worked out. That was nice. Normally I have to strategically spot my blacks and do it, but this just so happens to be already there for me. So now recognizing that, learning how to see is what they say is part of becoming an artist. So while people may feel that they're not talented or have the natural skill, it really is about dedicating yourself to learning how to see and visualize, and that's what helps you start to turn that into a form and application. As far as how many comics I've worked on, someone was asking me how many comics I've worked on. I don't know, because I lost count, or I haven't counted, I should say. I don't want to make it seem like I've done so many that I've lost count. It's not like that. I just haven't counted, because I do a lot of anthologies and pieces of anthologies, or I have a lot of unfinished things that are just not ready to see the light of day yet, or in various stages. So I have not counted in a very long time of how many actual published printed works I have. But I'll tell you this, it's not enough, because I'm just getting started. I've been at this for 20 years, but I'm just getting started. I'm nowhere near finished. If I could, I would draw comics till old age, the day I killed over. Either I want to die peacefully in my bed, old age, or I want to die peacefully at my heart table. That's the only ways I want to go. So that would be ideal, as if I have a say in it, though, right? I'm going to create a little bit of a highlight right here. Now, I probably could have had more highlights happening in here, but I think I got carried away with talking. So, but yeah, basically one reason why I'm also doing a lot of ballpoint sketches is to tell people, hey, no pressure with the sketch, to have fun. It's a ballpoint pen. You're going to make some mistakes, and that's okay. That's part of it. So again, there's the highlight right here for Alex's dread. So I'm going to create like a halo. This is where it's going to be lighter. This is where it's going to be darker. In theory. Now, will I accomplish that? We're about to find out. Stay tuned, folks. I got allergies about to kick in right now. My right eye, oddly enough, as I draw Alex's left eye, my right eye is starting to ooze, and it's got really sensitive allergies. That's why I wouldn't do well in a situation like Walking the Dead. I would just be sneezing all the time and having a hard time breathing. Like, my raids wouldn't be for food. My raids would be for like Claritin and Sudafed, I think. Yeah, I've been drawing since I was about 4 years old, Donald. So very similar. And I'm in my early. I don't want to say that. Yeah, I'm self-conscious, but I'm older now. So let's get the squigglies going in here. So I have a little bit of a mistake right here, because I let the eye take over the dread, and the dread technically is covering the eye right here. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. So while I'm doing this, I got to be thinking about what's next. What piece is next? So do I go with the pencils and do some tonal value changes, or do I bust out the markers and do an epic doodle? So I have an epic doodle I've already drawn. I just haven't colored it yet, because I was waiting for a certain type of marker set that I wanted to try out, which might be coming soon. So all right, so there's another dread. I can already see where I should have left some light and highlights, but again, I over-rendered, and that tends to happen sometimes with me. So now right here, this is a dread, and this is his nose, actually, but there's a dip and change. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the nose part alone for now, because we've covered so much, and let's go ahead and get to the dread. So my pen is starting to run out. Let's do this for the highlights instead. So drawing dreads in hair sometimes, especially like curly hair, is almost like drawing a tree trunk. You've got your highlights. You've got your, because it's a round object. It's a cylindrical object, right? So you have your light hitting it from an angle, and then you have your different dips and rivets of shading. But then all from the way from the light, it's going to get darker. So I really enjoy drawing trees because they're very similar to limbs and anatomy. In fact, you know what I should have done on here now that I'm thinking about it? And let's do that now. Don't be afraid to rotate the paper if you got to. Rotate it. Make it work for you. And look, now I can get that spiral going of what the dread would be. Had I remembered that earlier, thank God we're just doing a sketch right now, right? And not a final piece. I could have already gotten this type of action. And look, already by spiraling it, it gives it so much more energy. Do I have dreads? No, I don't have dreads. I'm bald. Donald, you probably got here after I switched the camera that was showing me when I was ranting and raging. So this is a picture of a friend for a study. He has dreads. I do not have dreads. If you were to think about The Rock and Vin Diesel, but then like a dad bod version of them, then you would get me. So I'm basically the nexus of where their calories go after they're done working out. And their carbs. I am their carbs. I am the nexus of carbs for The Rock and Vin Diesel. All their donuts, all the pizza, all the tacos, all the sugar. Because I eat my feelings. All right, so a little bit of different energy right there. I wonder if it's too late to spiral in. It probably is too late. So then let's just call this a moment for learning, a teachable moment, as they say, because you saw the different approaches I did with it, right? And you saw how the different effects happen. And had I spiraled everything, I would have had a uniformity to the hair. But this is about learning, and this is why we call Hunter Art Lab, because we experiment and we are trying different things. I'll leave perfection and beautiful, elegant artwork to some of the other YouTube artists that are very, very well good at it. Now I'm doing a cross hatch. So that spiral I did was basically my hatching this way. Now as I go down, it's automatically creating a cross hatch. So very cool. All right, now we got to get in here because his eye is going down, and it technically is going right here. So let me complete that. And he has got a little bit of crease right here. I have a crease too. When you scowl, if you scowl quite often, you'll end up getting a crease across your nose as you get older. I found this out the hard way. I have a permanent crease on the bridge of my nose now from all my scowling and mad dogging when I was trying to look tough and everything, or when I was angry. You know, Angry Youth, Angry Artists, my studio name, Angry Artist Studios. That I share with Guy Copes. So, and this is a very, very, really a lot of highlight right here. So I don't want to put too much rendering right here. But you have to have some type of nod or hint of medium that you're using just to create a consistency and create to continue the language so there's no disruption. And of course, one thing to keep in mind is as you put more ink, you're putting more water, liquid. So it's going to crumple up if you don't have a very sturdy surface. So this is the bridge of the nose, and we're going to go ahead and just do this. Then we're almost done with this, though, basically. And I'm going to go down. I like going down like that for the nose. And this is a highlight right here. The nose. This is the glossy part of the nose for on Alex, like where the oils and shine, because it's also hitting the light mostly. I think I'll put some hatching in here as well. Let me go ahead and make this more of a hair. There we go. I'm just making an eyebrow. Boom. I love it already. Okay. All right. So we have got an eyebrow. We've got Alex's eyebrow. I'm still trying to get used to the light. What do y'all think? Yeah. So that's just a rough sketch, honestly, really going right now. So now it's to get started. So yes, to answer a question, this is just an experimental studies, ink and artwork and thumbnails on a post-it, just to looking at a reference of a photo of a friend and just kind of getting a warm-up. This is basically a warm-up, and just to show people that, hey, grab a ballpoint pen and start drawing. So I will close this segment of my tutorial with a thank you for checking it out. I encourage you to grab a ballpoint pen, a post-it, and just start doodling, sketching, and see what happens. You can always use photo reference if you want to. If you don't want to use photo reference, you can always just do shapes and abstract things and just doodle lines, curves, and mix and match and see what you create. So this is Hunter Art Lab. I am JM Hunter, and I will talk to you later. Thank you. And cut. Okay, so that's one episode done, right? So that's one batching. If we're batching, it's going to be very awkward, isn't it? Let me switch back to the other camera so I can talk to y'all face to face. How's that sound? And then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Let me switch the camera, and we are going to front. Okay, so I'm back, and that was our first episode. As I was saying, this is going to be very awkward if I end up just putting this video out there and it's all one big, huge hour-long or 2-hour-long live video, which it might still be, but I still will probably try to edit it down to several episodes. So people that are willing to stick with the hour-long broadcasts or want to watch it in replay, if they're willing to put that time in to watch me ramble, rant, and draw, then I'm not too worried about it, my episodes being spoiled for them, as opposed to the other people that might catch up each episode separately, depending on what medium I use and everything like that. So ultimately, here we go. This is the sketch I did. So that was just with ballpoint pen. Okay. And this one, I probably would recommend using, you should use the Bic one if you want lighter tones and values. So I got to get used to looking at the camera here. My eye is draining. So let's check on Tom right now. Remember, I got this bite or something named Tom that just appeared. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Still there, still sore and everything like that. So yeah, this is oh, I should stop. Yeah, I'm not trying to flex. Sorry. Okay. Look at that. It's so cool. I just realized that having the tattoo, it's like hold on, dinosaur. Okay. A little stop animation type of thing. Okay. All right. So thank you on the setup of the art studio. This is just a corner that I've got right now. I have a whole partial basement right now that in the duplex we're staying in, but it's trash. It's a mess, and everything just keeps getting piled down here, and so I can't keep up with it. So right now, this is movie magic that you're seeing, to where it only looks like this. So, all right, allergies are starting to kick in. What do we do next? I can go ahead and do something with pencil. Let's do a pencil, and then let's do a marker. Let's go over different pencils and markers. Gonna get the Post-its out of the way, break out the cards. We're gonna do a pencil review. Oh, dead air. Dead air is bad, and I'm totally doing a lot of dead air. Sorry. Get so go water. I wish I had coffee. I wonder if I promised to rub my wife's feet later on, if she would be nice enough to bring me down a coffee. What do you think? Let's see. I'm gonna text her to see if I can get a coffee. That was my skull. I just knocked over my skull. I've got skulls everywhere. I love skulls. They're very fun and interesting to draw. So All right, y'all. Let's text her. What? What is that? Just let me get to the text. I am having major issues with technology today, everybody. It's like, I don't know. Maybe my primal side is fighting with the advanced technology of the world. Okay. Get coffee, please. And all right. So, can I get coffee, please, in the middle of filming? Oh, I forgot to give her like a reason why she should bother. I'll rub your feet later on. Question mark. All right. Dean's right. I'll rub them anyways. He says, rub them anyways. You're right, man. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, Dean, I need to be a better partner. So Dean says, let me text her that I should rub him anyways. So now, Dean, I've lost the advantage of parlay. So now I'm totally at her mercy. You know that, right? Okay. Rub them anyways. She hasn't answered yet. I wonder if she's even got her phone on right now. Her phone could be totally turned off, you know? Okay, let's keep going. All right. Honey dry roasted nuts, just more fuel when I'm down here. I forget to eat, which is quite often. And then I start feeling sick. Like, oh no, my blood sugar's crashing. Okay, I am going to switch views and I'm going to get it off my face and we're going to go back to the surface for our pencil thing. Actually, let me introduce the video real quick since we're supposed to be batching. So, okay, so do or do not, there is no try. Sorry, I'm not a Jedi. I'm more of a wannabe Sith. So, okay, so welcome again to Hunter Art Lab, and in this episode, we're going to go over a different set of pencils, and we're going to compare different types of models of pencils, and see what type of rendering and sketching we can get done, and maybe we'll actually get to a drawing. Stay tuned. All right, so what we got here is a series of different pencils. We've got the vaunted, highly acclaimed Blackwing Palomino Blackwing pencil. Let me see if I can get that up there with in that autofocus. Autofocus, come on, help me out here. Boom. There we go. Blackwing. These are weird because they have the square head for the eraser at the end, so it almost looks like one of those little old school smoking mechanisms. And this is, I find, has a very soft lead, so the lines you put down on it are very dark. So a lot of people swear by these pencils, and this is what was suggested in one of the art classes I took last summer. So we're going to maybe try that one out. And then what we also have is a pack of Mars Lithograph Stellar pencils, ranging from 6B to B, from HB to 4H. Let's go ahead and open that up. And oh, it even has instructions that I'm going to probably ignore. But so I've used these in the past and when I was younger, and so that's why I wanted to get a set and see if they're as good as I remember them. So I've got one Faber-Castell 4B pencil here. I don't know where my other leads are at, but that's okay. We'll do some comparison with that. So it's a graphite pencil. When they say graphite pencil, I've got to read to see if it's the graphite pencils that you can add water to and make almost like a brush. I don't think these are. I think by graphite, these are just regular pencils. So, okay. And moving on, we have a series of different mechanical leads or rents, different size mechanical pencils, as well as a lead holder, as well as a regular Bic mechanical pencil. We have your regular standard Amazon Basics number 2 HB pencil. We have one of my favorite pencils to use, which is a Prismacolor Color Erase blue pencil. I like doing comics with these. Yeah, and then we have a whole set of the General's graphite drawing with different leads. So I believe these are the Generals. Yep, General Pencil Kimberly sets. So H's and B's. Okay. So we're not going to go through every single one of these. That would take an epic long video. So we're just going to try out a few leads and sketches and maybe some hatching. And then I kind of want to get into just doing a sketch. I don't know what I'm going to draw yet, but we'll definitely we'll do something though, because I have been staring at this blank page for too long and there's nothing on it. There's a little tiny green line right there. That could have been my daughter. She likes to take my stuff and draw on it because she's an artist too. But I've got to put something on this. It's bugging me. This is the first page. Nothing else has anything on it. Okay. The sketchbook, it was something I got at over there back in San Francisco with near the school, near California College of the Arts. So I love the size of it, the 6x6 inch sizes, and I wanted to use it. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for until now. I was planning on drawing like dragon scales and dragon skulls and just kind of trying out like different cryptid beast shapes. But the first page, we're probably going to just throw a bunch of pencil lines on it and see what happens. Okay. So I love going to art stores. Exactly. And I find myself addicted to art supplies and art stores. So, emerging artists, yeah, the emerging artist thing. I remember that from back in our Peoria days. I was talking to Darren is on the chat here, so yeah, I keep wondering how long am I giving? I'm 42 years old. Am I still emerging or am I finally there yet? And I question myself with that quite often. So do I go and mark this up, or do I go ahead and play it safe and use the index card to create some lines? This has a tooth. Do you see the roughness on this? Already has a tooth to it, so it's very fancy, and to capture and hold the lead and lines that you put down, or medium that you put down. So dry, medium, pencils, and all that. They say light washes, but I mean honestly, if you put anything wet on this, it's probably going to crumple up, and you're gonna have to wait for it to dry out a really long time. So and then this right here are blank index cards. I like using these a lot, and I use them with my students. So they have a little bit of texture to it. So, but we'll go ahead and sketch some lines on this, and then we'll switch to this for actual drawing. I don't know yet what I'm gonna draw it. Maybe I'll do a skull and turn the a human skull into something else. Okay. So, but yeah, somebody's asking if I do digital stuff, and I do a little bit of digital art when I'm on a tight deadline and I have a comic to do. Like I start back to class in 2 days, and we're going to have very quick turnaround. So I'll probably end up switching to digital to get the comics done that I need to get, as opposed to having the luxury of playing around with the pencils that I enjoy doing. So we were talking about this on Blackwing. Let me go ahead and show you how that works. Let's get these out of the way for now. And let's go ahead and put this up front and center. And so again, holding back on the pencil, I have a heavy hand, so my goal is to go light to dark this time. But so I'm just going to try and do some feathering. And you're not going to be able to see that because the camera's not close enough, are you? And then I'll go into a darker. And if you notice, I'm just using my wrists. My fingers are staying put. Right now, it's just my wrists. And this Blackwing, actually, I'm getting some nice lines out of it. I really like the texture and the layers I'm building up by just holding back on the pencil. This is actually cool. I was a little disappointed with it when I first tried it because I was on the bed, tired, and I was drawing really close and everything like that, and I wasn't giving it a fair shake. But now, as I actually play with this. Yeah, this is actually kind of I like the hype. Okay, so this is smooth. This is let me put this to the camera so you can see, and this is just holding back on it. Oh man. Okay, and this is on an index card. I have a different camera I'm going to eventually hook up that has better autofocus. Now let's go ahead and let's go ahead and go mid-range, holding the pencil further up. I was holding it back here. Now we're going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to go ahead and try another set. Again, this is the Palomino Blackwing. These are expensive. I'm not going to lie. These are costly. So, I mean, there's still so much you can do with the regular HB number 2 pencil. And again, I am liking what's happening right here. Just using the wrist to flick, and now I'm going putting a little bit more pressure and this is actually a fun pencil. I'm kind of digging this. I don't know if I'd switch fully to that. I don't know. Maybe spend 6 weeks with it and see what test it out to, but no one wants to watch 6 weeks of a Palomino Blackwing pencil tutorial. Now I'm going to add some more weight to it. Again, I'm not cross hatching. This is just single hatch. Okay, let's bring it up to the camera. How's the smudge? I'll do a smudge technique across once I'm done with my third range of okay. Autofocus, do your thing. Boom, there we go. Okay. Now the way I hold the pencil is the wrong way. I hold it like that. Like my second grade grip. Literally what I learned in second grade, because the teachers were fighting with me on how to hold the pencil, and I couldn't. This is the best I could do. I was a very slow learner and stubborn. So I could do it like this, or I could try and just do the tripod, which is like 3 fingers. But now I'm further up on it. So this is what you would want to do when you want details and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and I've got my hand resting on this right now, so it's kind of hovering above. So that's kind of cool until I get one of those tools where for left-handed people automatically look at the. I'm not going back and forth like this. What I'm actually doing is going, lifting up, going. I'm just going really fast. So, Night Dean, thanks for joining us. Dean is in England and UK, so he's on a different time zone. But yeah, that's smooth already. So Darren or Daz was asking about the smearing, and I haven't smeared yet, and this is already smooth when I go heavier with the lead. You see that? That's pretty cool. I need to get into the light going this way so that way you can see it better. But okay, so now if I were just to take the finger and just start smearing across, let's see what kind of range we can get. I have smudge sticks around here, but waiting for autofocus to do its thing. Yeah, that's cool. Just one pencil, So then, like, if we were to start, like, let's just do a sphere, for example. So, like a rock. Okay, let's just do a rock, a misshapen rock, and then just going to go in and doodle it. Just going to do BBs, basically little scribbles. And then I'm lightening it right here just by control. I'm only using my fingers now, and my elbow is moving back and forth, but my fingers are doing all this. If you don't know, for those of you who are new to art or beginning on your journey, when drawing and using these tools, it's not just your fingers, it's your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder. Okay, so you're using all of them depending on what effect you're trying to pull off. Yeah, I will definitely do some erasing and highlights with this gummy eraser or plastic eraser I have. I'm just going to build the textures up real quick. So we're going to have our light source right here. So this will be dark, and then we'll go. This will be This will be our shadow. This will be our light source. There's a light. Okay. Now I technically don't have to choke back on this like I'm doing. That's just so I can. But if I go in here like that, it's going to get dark really quick because I have a heavy hand. Yeah, so it's probably best if I restrain myself. All right, so one thing I'm going to do is that I feel like I have it's very harsh darkness going right to light, so I need a medium tone here, don't I? I mean, if we're being realistic about it. So let me go ahead and layer a little bit lighter, a medium thing. And then what I'm going to do is smear it, and then I'm going to go in and erase some highlights on it. So right now we're showing you a multitude of techniques that you can just do with a simple pencil, an HB pencil, that we couldn't do with the ballpoint pen because it was a permanent flow of ink. So even if you're number 2 pencil, you can practice this exercise. All right, so now I'm kind of happy with what I have going on right here. So let's go ahead and do some smearing. And it's cool because there's still some lines and textures right here. And if I want to, I can still go back in and add those rivets, like those dents, imperfections in the rock. And I can choose where I want them. Okay, so now that we've got that, I actually am not filling this right now because I don't like it, so I'm gonna go in with this. Okay, so let's just let's say that let's act like there's a highlight right here. And let's just say that because it's a rock, that there's going to be like crevices and little rivers and valleys, in these rocks. Exactly. Like this is straight up traditional stuff. This is the stuff I'm showing you is 101, y'all. Now, our rock is not quite finished yet. We've managed to somewhat make it 3-dimensional looking with the rendering, but what we need to do is really make it pop and really sell this home that this is a real object. So with that in mind, I would suggest creating a lower horizon line as well as a shadow. So what we're going to do here is put this into a reality, an environment. And by creating the shadow, we establish that. So now this rock or object has a location, and then we can push this even further for atmospheric effect, and we can say that this is the grass line too. So and then instantly you are in a location. So I can go in here and fine tune that as well. And right here, if I feel like, I can always go back in and darken things up if I feel like there's not enough differential elements from the rock and the ground. If I want to separate things, because I'm in control. So, and then I can create a shadow right here. Maybe this is a dragon egg. I don't know, man. I've been wanting to draw dragons. I don't know why. Why have I been wanting to draw dragons and fantasy elements so much? Is it because I really, really am just thirsting for an escape from reality? That might very well be it, or was it just because I was vanity and I wanted to show off my drawing chops and rendering? Like, look, I can still draw old school like I learned. I learned fine art first, and then I learned comics, and then I learned cartooning, and then I learned digital. Or I'm still learning digital, so let's create some more range right here. So when I had my students, my younger ones, my just starting out 6th graders and 7th graders in Art 101, even if they were drawing crude shapes or shapes that weren't perfect circles, they would get so frustrated with this. You know what I mean? It's like, don't get frustrated by the odd shapes you draw, because I can't draw a perfect circle either. I can't draw a straight line either. I've never have been able to, even with rulers. And I've said this quite often, and it's true. But just by doing the object and by just spotting where you're going to put a light source and remembering light to dark to make the object round, because it is round, and then by adding the shadow, and then by adding a horizon line or a baseline, You've established depth of field, foreground, middle ground, background. How do we do that? Now we add that horizon line, okay? So now this is the field that it's in. And now we've got the foreground, the midground, and then the background could be like, I don't know, a sun or something. And then let's just take all this smearing crap that I had right here. Oops, I gotta watch my language. This is supposed to be in not all ages, but yeah. So I'm gonna draw some lines, cut some lines. Again, I'm still working with the one pencil. I haven't even moved to the other pencil leads. Okay, so now I'm gonna smear all this right here. And we're gonna make these lines work for us. We're gonna make those other lines since I already have a pattern going. Can you believe it? I've actually gotten to an episode of Hunter Art Lab that was actually more like teaching a drawing lesson. Normally it's just me ranting and talking about my feelings, y'all. But took me a while, but I got there. So I have to edit that out later on. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and erase back on the moon. We're going to call this the moon, not the sun, but the moon. Told you I can't draw a circle. So those lines that we did earlier are coming back into effect. Little moonbeams, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I definitely went like the traditional route. I did also, I have, again, I say I learned slow and I'm not just being like humble, it's true. So like it takes me, like I'll try something out that the teacher or that someone's trying to show me, and it won't take me until 3 to 6 months later for it to click, and then it makes so much more sense. So oh wow, one of my students, Kevin, is on. Hey buddy, how you doing? Nice to see you. I hope you're having a great summer, so but yeah, so one of my students, Kev, I'm gonna call him Kev just to protect his identity. I had him last year, and he was one of my students that one of my beginning drawing classes. So Kev, I'm still showing some of the same techniques. We're just going a little bit more, rendering and all that though. So, but yeah, I won't be at that school next year, buddy. I've moved on. I'm not gonna be at KIP, but I'll always be here on this channel. So I hope to see you popping in from time to time. If you ever need help with your art or want to do stuff, let me know. And eventually I'll talk about how to do some YouTube stuff too. So that way, if I know you want to do your own channel. So, but I think we're done with this particular lesson right here, or just exercise. Again, I got to get a better camera for autofocus. This is just a webcam. So let me see if I can. Yeah. Very, 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 simple, basic thing though. So, but yeah. So I will be popping in though, to the school to help out and things of that nature, bud. So you'll still see me, Kev. Thank you, Darren, by the way, for the compliment. So, I don't know about a great teacher, but I'm a work in progress, and I just like sharing art and what I've learned. I get so excited about art. Let me switch back to my other camera here so I can talk to you all face to face. And there I am. Okay, so where's my sticker? Oh, I lost my Black Lives Matter sticker. But yeah, so I just enjoy doing art. I enjoy sharing what I learn. And to me, it's like a new toy. I'm like, oh, I want you to check out this new toy or this new game and everything like that. So, so I enjoy doing it, and I feel like if it makes me feel as good as it's doing, it breaks my heart quite often. Art does, and it makes me very frustrated. But then also when I have that breakthrough, when I start building something and I'm learning, I get so excited, and I want to share that feeling with other people. But here is basically our sketch. So that's just playing with the Palomino Blackwing pencil. So I guess we're going to just focus on this particular pencil today for today's tutorial, or today's, I don't even know if it's a tutorial, but today's demo with the Blackwing Palomino pencil. These are a little more costly. Again, you still can get the same results with a number 2 pencil with the regular basic H2 number 2 pencil, you can get a lot of good results with this. So eventually I'll do a playlist of series of just using your most basic household supplies that you have and what you can pull off with them. It is nice to have the nicer supplies because it does make some of the things that you're working on a lot easier to create. But you still can pull stuff off with this. So don't forget the power of this, the power of a Bic. Here's the Bic pen. So I was talking about the Bic pen. This was more powerful, in my opinion, than the other pen I was using. I've got all these types of different ballpoint pens, but this basic one that you can get, you can pay less than $1 and get a pack of Bic pens, black, red, and blue, and you can pull off so much stuff with it. Thank you, Kev. So again, JM Hunter, DIY Hunter Art Lab, thank you for joining me, and I will see you with the next lesson, the next rant, the next rambling, and the next experience. So take care. And cut. Okay, so if you're just joining me, I'm doing what's called batching. What I'm doing basically is doing a series of videos, but doing it all live. Doing it all live right now, just for you. You're here live, but ultimately what I'll do is try to attempt to edit these later on and upload them into individual videos. So that way I have like a week, like a month's worth of updates, and each one will center around a different tool or different technique and things of that nature. So I've been heavy on talking about art imposter syndrome and what Black Lives Matter means to me and things of that nature and the social issues. But I also want everyone to remember this is this is Hunter Art Lab. This is also about experimenting with tools and techniques and mediums and just having fun with art and exploring with art, while we do talk about our feelings and emotions and how the world affects us and how to get out of your art block and how to get going, or how to just like build confidence within yourself. That's a journey that you all have thankfully been willing to take with me. We also are going to talk about tools and techniques, some unboxings and things of that nature. One of my fellow artists, Darren, Daz artist, is mentioning working with a ballpoint pen, just learning how to draw with that, and you can learn how to draw with that. In fact, again, I'll have to repeat: if you work with a ballpoint pen and learn with that, you start learning about what you can pull off and what you can't pull off mistake-wise. And then by the time you move on to the pencils or to the fancy pencils, you've already built up a vocabulary and a catalog of techniques and experiences of what to do, what not to do, what works. So that way going from pen back to pencil makes you even more of a beast. Okay. So one of my favorite artists, Jim Lee, I would always recommend drawing and sketching with a Sharpie or an ink pen, and his work is highly acclaimed. And a former X-Men artist, and now he's in charge of DC Comics. So again, ballpoint pen, Palomino pencils, and that's just kind of what I'm talking about right here. I might edit that into the video later on. So now that we've done the ballpoint pens, we've done the rendering pencils, I am trying to decide whether or not I should take a quick dinner break and then come back in and do an epic doodle marker thing, because I have this huge epic doodle that I have not colored yet, and I kind of want to try out this new set of markers. So let me show you real quick here. This was an old school Thanksgiving one I did. And then I went and inked. Oh, hey, let me show you something real quick here. I said I've been wanting to draw dragons, and so this is what I've been working on so I need to get back to this eventually, and I'm using mechanical pencils on that. But this is the epic doodle that I want to color with markers, and I want to have fun with it. I don't want to be frustrated. So can we see that? I can't see if you can see that. So I want to color that, and I'm just debating on what I'm going to use for it. I just debating on whether or not I'm going to do it live and then turn it to a high-speed video later on. So in order to make that decision, I think I need to stop right here and take a break and go eat a salad, because I'm trying to lose some pounds, and basically, it's gotten pretty bad with the weight thing, the Dad Bod Chronicles, which is one of my other comics. I'm down to like one pair of shorts, or maybe two pairs of shorts I can wear. And the pair I have on now, I had to unbutton in order to sit down. So that's how bad it's gotten, because I've been eating my feelings here in quarantine. So might take a break, go get some fuel and then come back, and maybe we will talk about doing this markering this epic doodle. So what that'll be is a marker tutorial demo. We're going to try out a whole new set of markers I've never touched before, and then we're going to see if I messed it up. All right, thank you. Oh, wait. Hey, she brought the coffee. So I guess I have to rub her feet. Thank you. You see it? Okay. Oh, I got the coffee. So, thanks, everybody.